Hi guys, I'm going to try to help you out on your homework today, just in case you come home and your child is explaining something, the strategy that I've taught them and you're not sure what's happening. So I'm going to do number 7 for you on the homework. I did tell them that they need to try the ones that they circled, the odds, but if they wanted to do the evens, I would give them bark bucks for ones that they completed of the evens. So, and they have to show their work though. They can't just write less than, greater than, or equal to. They have to show their work. So here's number 7. I've copied it over. So this is the anchor chart that we use. I'm sorry, my arm is shaky. And I tell them to go through all 5 steps. Number 1 is whenever you're comparing your fractions, you have to ask yourself, are the numerators the same? Okay. If they are not, then we're going to skip that. I can teach you that another time. Are the denominators the same? They are not, so we move on. Step 3, I teach them is more of a mental math strategy. It's more to check for reasonableness. So it's not something that I would use a lot. It's something that I would just use like as a quick guesstimate in my head. So number 3 is important. It's good to use, but it's not one that I would use to prove and show my work. Now, number 4 and 5 are very similar in that when you're using number 4, where we compared 2/5 and 3/10, we only needed to change the denominator of one fraction, okay? So we changed 2/5 to make it equivalent to 3/10. And that's the strategy that I'm going to teach you today. And I'm going to show you, and I always told them, we focus on number 5. Number 5 is the one that will work every single time, no matter what. And then, in fact, there's a whole other anchor chart to go with step number 5. And that's what I'm going to take you through today. Your child has both of these in their math notebooks, okay? So this is how number 5 looks. Okay, again, the numerators are not the same. The denominators are not the same. I cannot multiply 3 times anything to equal 8. I cannot multiply 8 times anything to equal 3. That's not possible. So I cannot use that step 4, okay? Because I could do that with the 5 and 10, but I cannot do that with 3 and 8. Your child needs to be efficient with their fact fluency at this point in order to do this efficiently, or else they might struggle with completing this because it's a lot of multiplication numbers. Some of your students can do this in your head. Some of them, I recommend writing them out. This is what I mean. So what they're going to do is they're going to start listing all the products of 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5. 3 times 6. 3 times 7. 3 times 8. 3 times 9, 3 times 10, 3 times 11, and 3 times 12. Okay, so I've listed all the different products. I tell them to go from 1 to 12. I don't think they're going to go any higher in 4th grade. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here to number 8. Okay, 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 2, 8 times 3, 8 times 4, 8 times 5, 8 times 6, 8 times 7, 8 times 8. Sorry, it's hard to do it. Say it out loud and then put the answer on the table. 8 times 9, 8 times 10, 8 times 11, then 8 times 12. 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96. I don't have them memorized either. I have my tricks. Okay, so we list them all. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find the common factor. Okay, so I'm looking for the same number in this group as over here. It doesn't matter which, there can be lots of ones that have the same numbers here in here, but I just need to find one. So let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, I notice that 24 occurs in both of these. Okay, so that's what the number is that I'm choosing. So what I'm going to do now, my 3rd step, when I say 3rd step, I mean I'm referring to this. Your kids, we use this anchor chart a lot today, so they should be familiar with it. Is what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each one of these denominators to where they're going to equal 24. So it looks just like this. So I say 1/3 times equals 24ths. We use what we know to figure out what we don't know. 3 times what equals 24? 3 times 8. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. 1 times 8 is 8. So I have found an equivalent fraction to 1/3, and that is 8/24. Okay, I'm gonna draw my circle in the middle, show my less than greater than sign. Now I have 3/8. Right? So I have to ask myself, 8 times what is 24? 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. 3 times 3 is 9. Now I can compare fractions that are a little bit easier for me to look at and think about. 9/24 and 8/24. The denominators are the same, so now I'm comparing the numerators. And the bigger the numerator, the bigger the fraction. So 9 is a bigger number, so I'm going to have my less than sign, because that way the mouth is open that way. One thing to point out is some of the kids, some of your students probably don't need to list it. They could probably look at 3 and 8 and find a common factor. That's fine. I don't tell them that everybody has to do that, but everybody needs to show their work down here like this. This is something that everybody does, not necessarily up here. That's fine if they don't need to do that. I recommend this part to kids who are just stuck and they're stumped and they cannot figure out what 3 and 8 have in common. Because sometimes these numbers, they're tricky. So this is what I recommend doing if your child is stumped. So that is how you solve one of these problems. Of course, I should finish it up here. If 8/24 is less than 9/24, then we can also say that 1/3 is less than 3/8, because these are all equivalent, or not all, but these are equivalent to each other and these are equivalent to each other. Okay. If you need any further help, please let me know. Write questions on the homework. I'm glad to help you in any which way I can. We will be studying comparing fractions Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, we'll move on to something else. So please, please, please shoot me an email, whatever you need to do to get some extra help. Thank you. Bye-bye.